So thanks for joining us for this week's webinar, and we'll be taking a short break from the NPCC Innovation and Digital Award Series for the next couple of weeks so we can focus on some other important updates and work that's going on and bring those to your attention. But following that cyber theme that we had last week with the Cyber Awards, we are going to stay in cyber today, and we're going to introduce a new capability to the police digital service that's been developed over the last few months on behalf of UK policing, and it's called CyberNet. So I'm joined by a couple of colleagues from PDS today, Mohammed and Peter, and we'll be bringing them in shortly, and they'll explain what CyberNet is and why it matters. So please pop your questions into the chat as we go along, and I'll do my best to pick them up. This is only the initial briefing, and the business engagement team and the wider PDS team will be working with each individual to give you more detailed information and access over time. And I'm not going to be going into the restricted areas of CyberNet today because some of the information in there is for a police-only audience. But we will cover the essentials and explain how you will access the platform. So I want to get started now. So I'm going to be joined by Mohammed. And Mohammed, can you perhaps start to explain what CyberNet is and what the challenges you were trying to address?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Dave. In terms of the CyberNet, it is our new single trusted platform to basically find and access national cyber policies, standards, knowledge resources, job opportunities, and share our shared learning, and collaborate in a single cybersecurity space. In terms of the vision for this deliverable was around a trusted national capability, which provides a consistent platform and consistency across cyber knowledge, best practice, documentation. It relates to the mission, which was to deliver a centralized platform that provides the policing cyber community with immediate access to the cyber documentation, supports collaboration, also brings together the skills, the jobs, opportunities, and knowledge and culture needed to make sure that we manage the cyber threats effectively.
So Mohammed, with that context in mind, and given the announcements that have been made recently about the future of policing and how technology will be enabled, can you take us through the strategic aims of CyberNet? And perhaps this will help forces across the country, especially move towards the national policing model and adapt to the changes being delivered. So it's really important that CyberNet supports and protects policing. So I'd really welcome your thoughts on how this fits into that.
Thanks for that, Dave. Yeah, in terms of CyberNet, it forms a deliverable under the National Policing Cybersecurity Strategy, which is a key underpinning strategy for the National Policing Digital Strategy, and supporting wider initiatives across policing on the road to reform. CyberNet basically is part of the 17 deliverables under that strategy, and CyberNet is under the awareness and training, and is one of the set of delivery within strategy workstream to enhance awareness of cybersecurity skills and professional development. Others being police cyber assurance framework, cyber support, and future NMC.
And just important to explain to people who perhaps aren't familiar what the NMC is, the National Management Centre.
National Management Centre, correct, yeah.
And that's our 24/7 capability that's helping to proactively and reactively protect UK security from where we're at. So what are you expecting CyberNet to achieve for UK policing, and how does this fit into the wider commitment to our forces?
No problem. I would like to take through the flywheel, which is on the right-hand side of this slide. So it is meant to be a platform which is up to date, is cost effective, readily available for the forces and force colleagues and wider audience to consume. It is well managed, and the usage of that is measured. It is cyber resilience from any other cyber threats, i.e. the platform and the CyberNet itself, is user focused, and the information that is provided within CyberNet is relevant to the audience, and it is meant to be a collaborative tool and platform where all the participants and users of this system can interact and enhance and improve. I would like to sort of cover the left-hand side of those elements just to sort of explain a bit more. So this is a platform where we basically find existing material and generate new material to add to CyberNet. It also is aimed at reviewing the acquired and generated material and edit and sort as we go along. It is also aimed to publish the information available in CyberNet, and also consumers make use of the platform to meet the stated goals, as we covered in the previous slides. It is also aimed to continuously make colleagues and community aware of the existence of the platform, content, and encourage consumption.
So we've covered what the key features are, what it's going to cover, and why it matters. I'm going to hand over to Peter now, who's been part of the development team for this. And Peter, perhaps you can explain the features that will be most useful to our colleagues in policing.
So thanks, David. Yeah, if you can just come on to the next slide, that just provides a brief overview. So yeah, so CyberNet is part of the Knowledge Hub, which you may already be part of, and we can find CyberNet within there. Just if you go into the groups and search for CyberNet, you'll find that pop up, and you can request access to the site. It covers a number of areas within the actual. There's a few major categories within the site. So starting on the left-hand side and working through. So cyber news and updates. This is really, as the name suggests, it's the news update news page for CyberNet. The idea is that there's regular news that's relevant to the cyber community is posted within here to support colleagues. It could be something interesting, where it's a certain kind of security issue that happened recently, or like a walkthrough of a recent incident, or just something that's kind of helpful and useful for cyber colleagues. And the intent of this is to maintain a current set of information and drive engagement with the site. So as we start to kind of bring more content in there, it becomes something that our users regularly check into, just to keep up to date with developments in the cyber area. Moving on to policies, guidelines, and support materials. So this is the cyber-specific national policies and standards that PBS and other parts of policing provide for the wider community. So it's the home for cyber-specific standards. So we already have the national standards site, which covers the kind of broader policing standards. These is for the actual cyber-specific standards, which are currently hosted on the national standards site, but we'll start to move into this site. So that link exists alongside, but to give you one place to come to show all those together. And it also introduces a hierarchical view. So if you search for certain kind of standards, and there's others relative to that, you'll see those within there as well. So host, navigate, and find those different areas that are kind of relevant to the area you're searching for. Moving into threat intelligence. So this is where we'll start to publish content from the National Management Centre around there. We're currently posting some threat summaries in there, which kind of gives a weekly update on things happening in the cyber area and areas of focus for policing. And then as that grows, we'll start to also host webinars and other sessions relevant around kind of threats and kind of threat intelligence and areas of interest for policing in that space. And the idea is that will then become the central channel. So right now we have a number of channels where we publish threat intelligence information. So in the future, this will come into one place within CyberNet. So there's one place to go for all that information. The discussion board is the area for policing to have discussions around certain areas within cyber. So we've started by creating a few kind of relevant areas within that, and then the idea is that they'll develop and grow in the future, and other areas will start to pop up relevant to different parts of cyber. And it's about discussing cyber related areas, discussion. Again, it's bringing those all together into a single place rather than having lots of different areas for discussion, which are centralise it all into one particular community area. The jobs board is something where in the future we try to develop a single place to look for all cyber opportunities. Right now we're putting the PDS opportunities in there, but in the future we'd like to use that as an area where all cyber related positions from across all forces come together in one place. So whilst you'll still have those jobs posted on the relevant forces websites, there'll be a single place to come to in the future and find all those, and you can search for relevant opportunities in certain areas, but it just gives you one place to go to. And then the final piece is the site search, which is a really kind of key part of it. You know, there's the main search across Knowledge Hub, which is very broad and gives content across everything. Within CyberNet, because we'll have all this interesting content around news and updates and policy and support materials and threat intelligence, when you go to search and you're searching for certain kind of terms, you know, you could search for a particular vendor and it will bring up content related to that. If you're looking at a new technology, again, searching for that, you might find responses from that within cyber news and updates, or within policies, or even within threat intelligence. So it gives you that broad coverage across everything, and gives you that kind of useful, you know, intelligence into all the different information we're publishing. And it also gives access to, if you're searching for certain kind of cyber controls and the like, again, you'll be able to surface those across all the content we're publishing within this one place. So it just makes it nice and easy to find that relevant information without having to go, you know, searching on lots of different sites as well.
And I think the trust of having one place is really vital to this. And I suppose the second part of that is who will have access to this platform, because it is not going to be a publicly available platform, although we are using Knowledge Hub. Can you explain who the platform is designed for and how people will gain access to the community?
Sure, yeah. So right now it's accessed by, you know, we have internal cyber colleagues within PDS using that, and we've also broadened it out to some of the working groups we have that look at cyber policies and standards. But yeah, the policing community can apply, you know, going through Knowledge Hub, searching for the site and clicking on request access, and then one of the CyberNet team will review your request and provide access as appropriate.
Yeah, and you know, we will have very specific information for policing. We want it to be an open forum for the people who work in cyber across all the forces, and this will help us to achieve the aims around protecting as one, making sure that we're taking action to identify potential vulnerabilities, to address concerns, to identify potential issues before they become issues. This is the community, so we're not doing it in isolation. It brings everybody together in one space. That's the whole point of this. And importantly, we've aligned this. We're doing eating your own dog food is the phrase that is used often. We're actually reusing technology that's already assured and in place in UK policing in terms of the Knowledge Hub, a platform that we've already been providing for some time, and we know has got that sensitivity rating that allows us to put this sort of sensitive information onto the platform and have that full audit trails that are really important to this. We've popped some links, and you've got the QR codes on the screen right now in terms of how to sign up for the Knowledge Hub, how to access the CyberNet page. Please do click that. If you're watching the recording, scan those QR codes you'll get in there. Of course, please do use your police.uk domain email addresses to request access, otherwise you just will not get in. So please do that, and obviously there'll be links to other elements in from CyberNet as well. We haven't had any particular questions or comments. I think the important thing for this is, given the journey that we're on, we all protect as one. Any weakness in cyber assurance, cyber protection, it really does affect the whole of policing, doesn't it, Peter and Mohammed? Is there anything that you want people to get out of this, or if people have got ideas of things that they need to do, what should they do?
From the project team perspective, we have got the discussion forum in there, and anything that somebody feels strongly about that, we can start a discussion over there, and we got moderators over there to help drive that discussion. So it's a live interactive site, the way we see that, where live issues could be discussed, and we could sort of work on not only just the live issues, but also if there are some questions about the policies which have been made available within CyberNet, they can be improved on. If there are any sort of questions raised, we can look into them and address those queries. Pete, is there anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, just to expand on that, I mean, I think that's one of the key points, Mohammed, is we're looking to use this more of a kind of an ongoing dialogue. So rather than it being a monologue where we're just posting stuff out, it's actually about us requesting that feedback and that information. So yeah, when we publish a standard, there is the opportunity to like the standard, to make comments about it. So yeah, it's all about having that interaction. Same thing with anything we post, really. It's all about kind of having that community input into those different areas. And so that feedback's really important. There's also, within the need help, there's a general link into the CyberNet mailbox. So, obviously you can post things directly on the site itself or in the forums, but if you want to just contact us directly with a certain subject, you're not happy to, publicly publish, then by all means use the mailbox, and we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Brilliant. We've opened the floodgates and the questions are coming in. So I'm going to bring Mike in just to give you the warning, Mike. Will PVS be looking at cyber awareness training for the end users, or will this be something that the forces could access?
Thanks, Dave, and good afternoon, everyone. Fantastic question. So we have been working with the cyber community around creating a cyber services training framework. The idea behind the framework is to provide training content and learning content in a number of different platforms and ways where we can have those that are new to the role of the CIRO, ISO and IAO to understand what is expected of them, to provide information both in a face-to-face environment. So the first information security officer workshop or induction is going to be taking place in May, through to a series of content which is going to be available on the Knowledge Hub, which people can access. And we're looking not only at those new to the role, but also those who are experienced. So we're creating a series of continuous professional development products where people, again, in the CIRO, ISO and IAO community can access information to help them from a technical perspective, but also from those, we call them essential skills, so that influencing, presentation, leadership type questions that they may need. On top of that, we are at the moment exploring the opportunity of creating a wider piece of information around education and awareness, and that's to support any sort of cyber or information management or information security campaigns that go on locally within policing to help and support getting that message across, getting that information across and changing the culture. We will be working with the College of Policing and others on that, but we're in early stages of that. But you should see the cyber services training framework content in the Knowledge Hub around about June, July of this year.
Thank you. We'll make sure everything's linked together and signposted, of course. Thanks, Richard, for your question. Stuart's got a question about SIAP scoring. Will that remain in place, or will feed into our SIAP?
I think this is something that will develop in the future. So what we can start to do as we build out the more on the policies and the standards is use some of these to start to actually, I guess, support project teams coming through the SIAP process, where it could be something where we measure against those and use those things to actually measure compliance, manage risks, that kind of thing. So I think that's a bit of an evolving area, but it's certainly something we want to move towards to kind of drive more of that standardization around how we do that assurance across the board.
Brilliant, thank you. And we have got a question about access there. Sorry if you're having some issues with that. I can see you from the Met. Just reach out through the help, contact us if we've got any issues. We'll do our best to help you out individually with your issue around access. But we can see what we can do to get you in if you've got the appropriate action. So hopefully that gets sorted soon. I want to thank you both for your time in covering that today. We're going to be covering a lot more about cyber and how we approach cyber as we go forward, and we're going to really put a focus on some of the things that are being delivered at the moment. But before we close, I really want to highlight an event, a workshop that's taking place next Tuesday. It's on screen now. It's a police-only workshop where we're going to be looking at how Essex Police have used Microsoft 365 to create a multi-agency digital hub for tackling fraud. Now, even if fraud isn't your area, the approach they've taken is incredibly useful. The real value is how they work, being able to work across multi-agencies to solve a shared problem. And what you'll learn in the session is how this can be applied to a wide area of work, from safeguarding hubs, local problem solving hub issues with local housing officers and much more. It's a really clever and secure way of using the technology that forces already have, enabling partners to work together, ensuring seamless, smooth sharing of information securely and in a fully audited way. Now, the workshop will last about an hour and a half on Tuesday, the 24th of March. If you're watching live, QR code, or we'll put the link in the YouTube channel. It's on the PDS website as an event. You need to pre-register. One of us will validate that you are valid to attend that workshop, because we will go into the detail of how the construction works. And just to note, this did win one of those awards at the National Digital Awards last year, so please don't miss this opportunity to get into the detail of that. The webinar is already on the YouTube channel. And on the next slide, we're now accepting pre-registrations and sponsorship bids for the biggest event, the most significant event in the police technology calendar, the NPCC Innovation and Digital Summit. We are returning to Merseyside again this year. It's a fantastic venue, easy to get to, and we've secured even more space so we can welcome more people from policing and wider law enforcement. We're expanding the agenda. We are creating more opportunities for engagement in the networking area, exhibition area, increasing the exhibition space, and the awards will also return, and we'll be announcing details of them in the coming weeks. And we've secured a fantastic venue for the awards night, so that a real celebration night. So either in policing, law enforcement, or the wider tech community, make sure you're part of this. Scan the QR code on screen, visit the PDS website in the events section. We are again keeping the non-police attendees limited. It is a key event. There will be at least 60-40 split between public sector and the supplier community. So if you're keen attending, get involved early. And if you're a vendor, exhibition spaces are already being allocated. The first contracts are going to be issued this week. So we're expecting another sellout. So please act quickly. So that's it from us for this week. We are going to take a short break for a couple of weeks, couple of sessions while we prepare the awards announcements, and join us again on the 15th of April after Easter, where we'll be sharing an update on the digital forensics programme and looking at how forces are being prepared for the reform and the way that digital evidence is being supported. And once again, thank you for watching. Keep the questions coming in. Remember to log into that Knowledge Hub, and we hope to see you in a couple of weeks' time for our next live webinar. Thanks a lot.